If you're not prepared for what's coming this winter, power outages, empty shelves, and frozen grocery trucks, your family could be going hungry. I'm about to show you 15 old-school Amish cooking secrets that keep you fed when the lights go out. This is hidden survival cooking, exposed. Hey, I'm David. I've been prepping and learning off-grid survival skills for 15 years, and when I saw what inflation, supply chain chaos, and grid instability did to grocery runs last year, I realised most prep guides skip what people really need when power fails. If you stay with me, in the next 8 to 10 minutes you'll learn how to store staples and perishables for months without a fridge or generator, little-known recipes and preservation tricks that turn scraps into survival food, simple tools and systems that survive long winters and grid failures. Thousands of smart preppers are already using this old-school wisdom. And, by the end of this video, you will too. You might think prepping means solar panels, generators, and high-end gear. But what I'm showing you is more reliable, time-tested, low-tech, and shock-proof. In 2020, when supply chains collapsed and store shelves were empty, my family lived on home-canned goods, root-cellared vegetables, dried fruit. The kind of stuff I'm about to show you. It saved us. That's why today I'm sharing these Amish-inspired methods with you, so you can survive, eat well, and sleep easy even if the grid stays down for weeks. Number 1. Water glass eggs, long-term egg storage. Eggs are one of the first things to go bad when the power goes out. Your fridge stops working and breakfast, baking, or even a simple omelette becomes risky. That's why the Amish use water glass eggs. This old-school method can keep eggs fresh for months, sometimes up to a year, without electricity. It's simple, cheap, and reliable. You can use eggs from backyard hens or pick them up from a local farm. These eggs give you a steady supply of protein for breakfast, baking, or cooking when store eggs are gone. Imagine opening your pantry in the middle of winter and knowing your eggs are still safe to use. That's the kind of security this method offers. To make water glass eggs, mix hydrated lime with water. Make sure it's food-grade lime so it's safe for storage. Submerge fresh, unwashed eggs completely in the solution. They must be fully covered, or they won't keep. Then, store the jar in a cool, dark place. A basement or root cellar works perfectly. Check the eggs occasionally and make sure nothing is exposed to air. You don't need fancy equipment. A large glass jar, pickling lime from a garden store, and fresh eggs are all it takes. No electricity, no complicated tools, just a simple jar that keeps your food secure. Lime and jars are easy to find online or in local shops. Eggs? Just grab them from a farm or raise a few hens yourself. A quick tip: always label your jars with the date. Rotate your stock so the oldest eggs get used first. When you're ready to cook, crack them open, rinse under cool water, and boil or cook thoroughly. This small step ensures your family stays fed, even during long winter outages. Number 2. Cast iron cooking over fire. When the power goes out, most modern cookware becomes useless. That's where cast iron skillets and Dutch ovens come in. The Amish have relied on them for generations because they can cook over wood stoves, fireplaces, or open fires. These pots are tough, last decades, and handle slow-cooked meals perfectly. Cast iron is great for soups, stews, beans, cornbread, or any dish that needs steady heat. You can even bake bread inside a Dutch oven over coals. It gives you hot, hearty meals without electricity or gas. Think about feeding your family warm dinners even when the grocery store is closed. To use cast iron, make sure it's well seasoned. Place it on a wood stove, fire pit, or even a stable stand over coals. You can cook meals slowly for hours, which saves fuel and makes your food taste amazing. The key is controlling the heat and keeping it steady. If you don't want to spend a lot, Check thrift stores or online marketplaces for used skillets and Dutch ovens. Even a single 10-inch skillet or a 4-quart Dutch oven can handle most meals. They're affordable and built to last a lifetime. These pans are widely available and you don't need electricity to use them. A little care goes a long way. Clean gently with water, dry immediately, and rub a thin layer of oil to prevent rust. Over time, the seasoning improves, making food taste even better. Keep your pan ready at all times. Cast iron performs best when used often. Even reheating leftovers over a small fire keeps it seasoned and ensures you're always prepared to cook when the grid goes down. Number 3. Root cellar storage for vegetables. When winter hits and the power goes out, fresh vegetables can spoil in days. The Amish solve this with root cellars, a simple, natural way to keep food cool for months. A root cellar maintains steady, cool temperatures and moderate humidity, which helps potatoes, carrots, apples, onions, and squash stay fresh all winter long. This method is perfect for storing large amounts of food without electricity. Imagine walking into a dark, cool space filled with stacked crates of vegetables ready to eat. Even if grocery stores are empty or your fridge stops working, your pantry stays full. To set up a root cellar, you can dig a small space in the ground or use a basement or crawl space. The key is keeping it cool, dark, and ventilated. Place your vegetables in crates or boxes and line them with straw or newspaper to protect from moisture. Make sure air can flow around the produce so nothing gets mouldy. Even if you don't have a big basement, you can use insulated containers buried in the yard. Cardboard boxes layered with straw or cloth can work surprisingly well for short-term storage. Rotate your vegetables regularly. Use the oldest items first to avoid waste. Check periodically for signs of spoilage and remove any damaged produce immediately. With this simple setup, you can enjoy fresh vegetables all winter, even when the power is out. Use what you already have: crates, cardboard, straw, or old blankets. You don't need expensive tools or appliances, just a cool, dark place and a little planning. This simple method has kept families fed for generations. Now here's where most people mess up. They rely on a generator or freezer, but once fuel runs out, it's over. A root cellar never asks for gas or batteries. Number 4. Drying and air dehydrating food. When the fridge and freezer fail, fresh food goes bad fast. The Amish use drying and air dehydrating to preserve fruits, vegetables, herbs, and even meat. This old-school method keeps food shelf-stable for months without electricity. Drying is perfect for snacks, soups, stews, or baking. Apples, berries, carrots, and herbs can all be dried and stored in jars. Meat can be turned into jerky for long-term protein. Once dried, food takes up less space and lasts much longer than fresh produce. To dry food, slice fruits or vegetables thinly and lay them on racks, screens, or even clean sheets in a sunny, ventilated spot. For meat, slice it thin. Hang in a dry area and make sure it's completely moisture-free before storing. Using a wood stove's residual heat can also speed up drying during cold months. You don't need an expensive dehydrator. Simple racks, screens, or trays work just as well. All you need is sun, airflow, or low, steady heat from a stove or fireplace. Availability: anything can be dried. Garden produce, farm fruits, or meat scraps. You don't need special tools, just a little time and patience. Monitor humidity and turn slices regularly for even drying. Once fully dry, store in airtight jars or bags with a small bit of rice or other moisture absorber. Properly dried foods can last for months, giving you reliable meals during a winter outage. Number 5. Waste not cooking. Corncob jelly and stale bread. When food is scarce, every scrap counts. The Amish excel at turning what most people throw away into valuable meals. Corn cobs, stale bread, and vegetable scraps can all be transformed into tasty, nutritious food. Corn cob jelly is a perfect example. After cutting corn, the leftover cobs are boiled in water to extract flavour and starch. Add sugar or pectin, and you have a jelly that stretches your pantry and adds variety to meals. It's sweet, filling, and made from what would otherwise be wasted. Stale bread is another survival secret. Instead of tossing it, crumble it for breadcrumbs, or bake it into casseroles, puddings, or soups. Bread scraps can bulk up meals, stretch meat, or add texture to stews. Every little bit saved helps feed your family longer when the grocery store shelves are empty. To implement this, keep a small jar or container for scraps like cobs, crusts, or vegetable peelings. Boil, bake, or mix into recipes when you're ready. This doesn't require electricity, fancy appliances, or expensive ingredients. Just a little planning. It's almost free, using food you'd normally throw away. The only things needed are basic pantry staples like sugar, flour, or spices to enhance flavour. Label and store prepared items properly. Keep breadcrumbs dry in jars and make small batches of corn cob jelly to avoid spoilage. These small, clever tricks can make a big difference in keeping your family fed through a winter power outage. This next one is controversial, but hear me out. That corn cob you just threw away could save your food supply this winter. Number 6. Salt curing and brining meat. When the freezer is out, meat spoils quickly. The Amish rely on salt curing and brining to preserve meat safely for months without electricity. This old-school method locks in flavour, prevents bacteria growth, and gives you protein when fresh meat is unavailable. Salt-cured meat is perfect for stews, soups, or frying. You can cure pork, beef, or even fish. Brining adds moisture and flavour, keeping meat tender during long-term storage. Imagine having a supply of ready-to-cook meat even in the middle of a winter blackout. To implement, mix salt and optional sugar or spices into a brine solution. Submerge meat completely and store in a cool, dark place. Make sure all pieces are covered by liquid to prevent spoilage. Smaller cuts cure faster, so start with manageable portions. Simple table salt works fine. You don't need fancy curing salts or expensive equipment. Glass jars, food-grade containers, or even ceramic crocks do the job. Salt is widely available at grocery stores or online. Meat can come from a local farm, backyard livestock, or hunting. Always label with the date and rotate stock. When ready to use, rinse off excess salt, then cook thoroughly. This method may take time, but it ensures your family has safe, long-lasting meat supplies when the grid is down. Number 7. Homemade fermented foods. Fermentation is one of the oldest ways to preserve food, and the Amish use it to keep vegetables, dairy, and even beverages safe and nutritious during long outages. Fermented foods last for months without refrigeration, while also boosting flavour and digestibility. Pickles, sauerkraut, and kimchi are common examples. They provide essential vitamins and probiotics, which help keep your family healthy when fresh produce is scarce. Fermentation also allows you to use surplus garden vegetables instead of letting them go to waste. To ferment, pack vegetables tightly into a clean jar, add saltwater brine, and weight them down so they stay submerged. Cover loosely to allow gases to escape, and store in a cool, dark place. Over days or weeks, natural bacteria do the work, turning simple veggies into tangy, preserved food. All you need is jars, salt, and your garden vegetables. No electricity, fancy appliances, or chemicals are required. Even a small kitchen can handle several jars at a time. Vegetables are easy to grow or buy locally, and salt is cheap and widely available. Jars can be reused many times. Taste your ferments regularly. Once they reach the desired flavour, move them to a cooler spot to slow the fermentation process. Using fermentation, you can maintain a continuous supply of healthy, preserved food throughout winter, even if your fridge isn't running. Have you noticed how grocery stores now raise prices almost every week? If you're like most of us, you can't trust them anymore. Number 8. Root vegetable ice storage. Even without a fridge, you can keep root vegetables fresh through winter using ice storage, an old Amish trick. By layering vegetables with ice and insulating them, you create a mini cold storage that slows spoilage for weeks. This works well for carrots, potatoes, beets, and turnips. Imagine walking into a corner of your basement or root cellar and finding crisp vegetables ready to cook, even during a power outage. It keeps meals fresh and your pantry stocked without relying on electricity. To implement, layer vegetables in a sturdy bin or crate, add crushed ice between layers, and cover with straw, burlap, or an old blanket for insulation. As the ice melts, it keeps the temperature low and the humidity balanced. Drain any excess water to avoid rot. Crushed ice can come from your freezer before a blackout, or from ice blocks purchased at local stores. Bins, blankets and straw are inexpensive and often already on hand. Root vegetables are easy to source from local farms or gardens. Straw or burlap is widely available at farm or gardening stores. Check ice periodically and replenish as needed. Proper layering ensures vegetables don't touch melting water directly, preventing spoilage. This simple method keeps a steady supply of nutritious vegetables available, even during long winter outages. You might think grinding your own grain is overkill, but in a real collapse scenario, it could be the difference between bread and nothing. Number 9. Mason jar oil lamps. When the lights go out, cooking and moving around the kitchen becomes tricky. The Amish rely on simple mason jar oil lamps for reliable light. These lamps can burn for hours, giving you a safe, steady glow for cooking, reading, or emergency tasks. They are perfect for winter blackouts. Imagine a warm, flickering light in your kitchen while you prepare a hot meal. No electricity required. Plus, the jars are reusable and easy to refill, making them a long-term solution. To make one, fill a clean mason jar with vegetable or olive oil and insert a cotton wick. Make sure the wick is long enough to reach the oil, but not too tall to smoke excessively. Light carefully and keep on a stable, heat-resistant surface. Used jars and leftover cooking oil work perfectly. No expensive lamps or batteries needed. Mason jars are easy to find online, at Walmart or local stores. Oils are widely available and last a long time. Always keep a lid nearby to quickly snuff out the flame. Rotate wicks when they get too short or charred. With this simple setup, you can maintain light and continue cooking safely, even during extended winter outages. Number 10. Vinegar air cleaner and preserver. When winter outages strike, air quality in your pantry or root cellar can quickly affect stored food. The Amish use vinegar as a natural air cleaner and preservative to keep food fresh and safe. Vinegar works by slowing bacterial growth and neutralizing odors. You can place bowls of apple cider vinegar near fruits, vegetables, or herbs to extend their shelf life. This simple trick helps prevent mold and keeps your pantry smelling fresh, even when the windows stay closed during winter. To use, fill shallow bowls with apple cider vinegar and place them strategically around your storage area. You can also wipe down shelves and containers with a diluted vinegar solution to sanitize surfaces before storing food. Apple cider vinegar is cheap and widely available at grocery stores. Shallow bowls or jars you already own work perfectly. No special tools required. Vinegar is easy to find, and jars or bowls are common household items. No electricity or special storage is needed. Change the vinegar every week or so to maintain effectiveness. You can also use it in small amounts when cleaning cutting boards, shelves, or jars to keep bacteria at bay. This simple method protects your stored food, giving you extra peace of mind during winter power outages. Number 11. tallow candles for light and heat. When electricity is out, lighting and cooking become a challenge. The Amish rely on tallow candles, made from animal fat, as a reliable source of light and small amounts of heat. These candles are long-lasting and can be used for cooking, reading, or emergency lighting during winter outages. Tallow candles are ideal for slow-cooked meals, simmering soups, or simply illuminating a dark kitchen. They are simple to make and don't require batteries or gas. Imagine having a warm, flickering light that also adds a little heat to your room, a small but effective survival tool. To make tallow candles, render fat from beef, pork, or lamb. Melt it gently, pour into moulds or jars with a cotton wick, and allow it to cool. Once solid, your candles are ready to use. You can store extras in a cool, dry place for months. Use scrap fat from meat you already have. Recycled jars or moulds work perfectly, making this a very low-cost option. Fat is easy to get from local farms, butchers, or your own livestock. Cotton wicks and jars are easy to source from stores or online. Place your candles in shallow trays of sand or salt to stabilize them and reduce fire risk. Keep a few extra wicks and jars ready so you can make more on demand. Tallow candles are a simple, reliable, and time-tested way to maintain light and warmth during winter power outages. Number 12. Ember box, clay oven for slow cooking. When the power is out, cooking meals evenly can be difficult. The Amish use ember boxes or small clay ovens to cook food slowly using embers or hot coals. This method saves fuel and keeps meals warm for hours without constant attention. Ember boxes are perfect for soups, stews, bread, or casseroles. You can place pots directly over embers or inside a clay oven, letting food cook gradually while you focus on other tasks. It's a practical way to prepare large meals even when the stove or oven isn't working. To use an ember box, build a small insulated container from bricks or clay. Heat coals or embers, place them in the box, and then add your pot or Dutch oven. Cover with a lid or extra coals to maintain heat. Meals cook slowly and evenly, retaining flavour and nutrients. DIY with bricks, sand, or repurposed metal sheets. No expensive equipment needed. Even small setups work for basic meals. Bricks, sand, and scrap metal are easy to find at local hardware stores or online. Coals can come from wood stoves, fire pits, or leftover firewood. Preheat your ember box for a few hours before cooking to get consistent results. Use oven mitts or heat-resistant gloves when handling pots, and rotate food occasionally for even cooking. Ember boxes are a reliable, energy-efficient way to cook during winter blackouts. Number 13. Layered insulation for stored food. When winter temperatures swing wildly, even root cellars and pantries can't always protect food. The Amish use layered insulation to keep vegetables, fruits, and canned goods safe for weeks or months. This simple technique maintains stable temperatures and prevents freezing or spoilage. Layered insulation works well for potatoes, carrots, apples, squash, and other stored vegetables. By stacking them with insulating materials like straw, burlap, or old blankets, you create pockets of warmth that buffer against cold air. It's like giving each vegetable its own cosy winter jacket. To implement, line boxes or crates with straw or newspaper. Place your produce inside and cover each layer with more insulating material. Make sure air can circulate slightly to prevent moisture buildup. Store the boxes in a cool, dry and dark area. A basement, garage or root cellar works best. Use what you already have at home: old blankets, newspapers, cardboard or straw. No special tools or electricity are needed. Materials are easy to find at home, in local stores, or at farm supply shops. Vegetables can come from your garden or local farms. Check your insulated boxes periodically. Rotate older produce to the top and remove any items showing signs of spoilage. Layered insulation is a low-cost, highly effective method that keeps your winter food supply fresh, even during prolonged power outages. Number 14. Mason jar oil lamps for emergency cooking. When the power goes out, cooking and lighting become a major challenge. The Amish use mason jar oil lamps to provide both light and small amounts of heat, making it possible to cook simple meals even in winter outages. These lamps are perfect for simmering soups, boiling water, or providing a steady light for meal prep. You can place them on a heat-resistant surface near your cooking area, giving you a reliable source of illumination without electricity. To make a mason jar oil lamp, fill a clean jar with vegetable or olive oil and insert a cotton wick. Make sure the wick is long enough to reach the oil but not so tall that it smokes excessively. Light carefully and keep the lamp on a stable surface. Use leftover cooking oil and recycled jars. No expensive lamps, batteries, or electricity are required. Mason jars and oils are widely available at grocery stores, Walmart, or online. They're easy to store and reuse multiple times. Always keep a lid nearby to snuff out the flame quickly. Replace wicks when they become too short or charred. With a few mason jar oil lamps ready, you can maintain light and even cook small meals safely during a winter power outage. Number 15. Flint and steel fire starter. When matches and lighters fail or run out, the Amish rely on flint and steel to start fires. This old-school method works in cold, damp conditions and doesn't need electricity, making it essential for winter power outages. A fire starter like this is perfect for lighting wood stoves, fireplaces, or ember boxes. Imagine needing a hot meal or warm water and knowing you can start a fire anytime, even when all modern tools are gone. To use, strike a steel striker against a piece of flint over dry tinder such as moss, cotton, or shredded bark. Once sparks catch, gently blow on the tinder until it flames. Then transfer it to kindling to build a sustainable fire. Flint and steel kits are inexpensive, reusable, and last for years. You don't need batteries, fuel, or complicated tools. Kits can be purchased online, in camping stores, or from survival supply shops. Make sure to have more than one set stored in different locations for redundancy. Practice using flint and steel before an emergency so you're confident when it counts. Keep your tinder dry and ready in a small container. With this simple, reliable method, you can ensure your family stays warm and fed, even during long winter blackouts. Smash that like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss the next survival secrets. Drop a comment below. Which of these 15 will you try first? I read every comment. The best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. Next week, I'm sharing how to build a budget-friendly root cellar anywhere. Stay safe, stay prepared. We're not paranoid, we're prudent.